Welcome to the Explosive Profit Summit, where our mission is to empower small business owners to move from fear to confidence when growing and building their business. Your host for this session is Andie Monet. Andie is a business optimization expert who has helped Fortune 500 companies and 13 international governments rebuild their economic and financial infrastructure. She is the creator of the Strategic Growth Transformation for Small Businesses, as well as the creator of the Explosive Profit Summit. She has another amazing guest coming right up. Take it away, Andie.
Well, hello, folks. I'm Kimberly Crow, and I am here to introduce the one, the only, the totally amazing Andie Monet. I am super stoked to be able to do this. How are you feeling? You look like a champ. You're amazing.
Hey, smile and nod, smile and nod.
I like it a lot. I was like, hey, we match. We're wearing the same thing. So we must have passed a memo beforehand.
I know.
So Andie, you're going to be talking today about it's easier than you think to become a strategic, confident, badass in business. I'm going to let you take it away. But first off, tell us a little bit about how you became an expert in this particular badassery.
Oh, you're so kind, Kimberly. First of all, it's always a pleasure talking to you. You always make me smile. But it's funny, my story is not typical. So my first business started when I was 16 years old, when I was homeless, when my single mom abandoned me. And I had to decide literally overnight what I was going to do with my life. I mean, my entire life is how I felt. And so my answer was graduate high school at 16, start college at 16, and start my own business at 16. And I did. And whether it's because I'm stubborn or I'm committed or whatever, right? That was my answer to my solution, or that was a solution to my problem. So and I hope the listeners have earbuds on, because I have a couple of things that are sensitive to tiny young ears. But it started because I got home from school and I walked in the front door and I went straight to the couch because I was exhausted. I was exhausted every single day because I didn't know what would trigger my mother's anger. And on that particular day, she decided she was going to grab me by my hair and pull me across the living room floor to the front door, and with a final kick and with a final pull, slammed the front door in my face. And the crying and the knocking and the screaming and the let me in. And several hours later, I realized she was not going to open that door. And I knew my mother well enough to know that her word was final. And so that day I learned two things. One thing was that I was going to be responsible for my own success, whatever that meant. And the other thing was, what action did I need to take today to get me closer to that success? And that day, my success was, where was I going to sleep? And that's not very exciting and it's not really sexy, but that's what it was. And I couldn't make that decision tomorrow. I couldn't make that decision next week, and I couldn't make that decision next month. It had to be today. And so I picked a place under my mom's deck, but that doesn't seem very difficult, except that we lived on the water and I didn't know what time the tide came in. So there was a possibility that I wouldn't even live till the next morning. Obviously I did, but that was probably one of the most terrifying days of my life, not only being rejected by my mother and having to learn what to do the entire next day, but what to do next with my life.
Wow.
And so, yeah. And
what a rag to riches story. And you have become a confident, strategic badass in business.
Yes.
So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you and we can kick it off.
Absolutely. So the thing about the being homeless and starting my business is that 35 years later, over 35 years later, I work with Fortune 500 companies. I've helped over 12, 13 international countries rebuild their economic and financial infrastructure, which I believe is in the recording, but anyway. And that's all fine and great and dandy, but really, what does that mean for you, right? For you as a listener, for you as a business owner, for you as an entrepreneur. And I specifically wanted to talk about, the talk title is how easy it is to become a strategic, confident badass in business. And to be able to do that, we first have to define what strategic is. So what if for anybody who's listening, hopefully a lot of you, what do you think strategic is? Can you put it in the chat? What does strategic mean to you? Because this is really critical to understand. If you can't be strategic if you don't know what it means, right? And I don't mean not know what it means, but really honing in on what it could be. And of course, all of those are true. Having a plan, having a roadmap, carefully chosen long-term process, which is really key. And so one of the words that I think is really important to being strategic, including those three things, is being really deliberate, right? Being deliberate about what it is that you want. And some of you have heard me say, you can't get to point B if you don't know where point B is, right? That's part of being strategic. I want to go from here to there. If you're in New York and you want to go to California, that's a certain path that you take. Adversity is an amazing thing, but yes. And if you're going to California from New York, that's a different path than going to California from Oregon or from Russia, right? And so having that deliberate, conscientious plan is really critical to being successful. The other thing is confidence. Now, I think this is a little bit of a tricky question, but I did it on purpose. So type in what you think confidence is. And yes, I'm going to wait for somebody to respond because this is really important. This is actually really key to moving forward. Showing up when you're scared, absolutely. Faith in yourself and your abilities, yes, those are both. I love those answers. Now, here's what I think, and this is the business side of it, right? Confidence is belief in self, even when scared, absolutely. And I will even say, and confidence is having the boldness to be no matter what, yes. Moving forward, no matter what, yes. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Now, all of your business owners are entrepreneurs. Here's the thing, when you decided to go into business for yourself, create a business, grow a business, have a business, there was some kind of confidence already in you, whether you're doing construction or hair or coaching or design, whatever it is, part of you knew that was what you were good at, that you were good at it, or that you enjoyed it, or that you loved it, or that you were passionate about it, or that you can make a difference in somebody's life with it. There's a certain amount of confidence that you have in that. Otherwise, you wouldn't have chosen it, right? I call that front end confidence because that's really what you're delivering to your client. That's the coaching that you deliver, the construction that you deliver, the hairstyling that you deliver, the interior design that you deliver. That's the front end that everybody sees. But there's another piece which I call back end confidence, and that's really how you run your business. And I will say this about having back end confidence. I believe that it's when you're able to make big decisions, financial decisions with ease, within minutes, without panic and stress. Now, I want you to put a 1 in the chat if you think that would be amazing to have that kind of confidence in your business. And I'm putting a 1 because I believe it, because I said it, right? But being able to make big decisions, financial decisions, long-term decisions, financial decisions, did I just say that? Who knows? And be able to make those decisions with ease, within minutes, without panic or stress. And I think that's really one of the keys to having confidence in, yeah, Heather, 1. That's really the biggest key to being confident on the back end of your business. And this, I think most people have the most challenge with. They're not usually don't have a problem with the front end confidence, but they have challenges with the back end confidence. Now this is another tricky question. How many of you have ever had challenges in your business? Put a 1 in the chat, because if you're a business owner, you've had at least one challenge in your business, if not thousands probably, right? And let me ask you this. What do you think could have made it easier for you? What do you think you could have known, had, experienced, been aware of? What are some of those things that would have made those challenges easier for you? When I started my business at 16, I literally reinvented the wheel. I mean, I didn't know anything about anything. I didn't know sales techniques, marketing techniques, communication techniques, leadership techniques. I didn't know anything. I mean, it was literally like creating an MBA program for myself from scratch. I mean, that's how many challenges that I had. And what would have made it easier for me, as many of you, I think many of you are coaches, is to have somebody help me with that, right? I mean, if I could make my 5-year goal my 1-year goal, or my 10-year goal my 3-year goal, how do you do that? And one of the best ways to do that is to get help from somebody who's already done it, right? And I know that's pretty simple, but I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know that there were people that could help me run my business other than, the traditional attorneys and CPAs, which, by the way, they don't help your business. And I hope I didn't offend anybody who's on this call, but they have techniques that are usually not geared towards running and operating your business. So the 3 things that I think are really important with making decisions with ease, 3 things happen. 1, being able to foresee, forecast, or know challenges that are going to come up before they happen, several months before, possibly years, knowing what exactly you're going to have to deal with before it gets there. Now, I don't know about you, but after doing this for over 35 years, that comes pretty easy, but it was not easy when I was 16 or 20 or really 30, right? So being able to foresee challenges that are going to come up, making sure I don't talk over. Okay. Being able to foresee challenges and opportunities, being able to see opportunities before they're even ready to happen. The second thing is knowing how to prepare for those challenges and how to prepare for those opportunities. So it's not just enough to know what's going to happen, but to know what you're going to do when it happens, right? I mean, let's just take COVID. So our companies are being shut down. Well, what are you going to do about it? That's a big question. And the third piece of this puzzle about confidence on the back end, and this is really wraps it up in a bow, is knowing when to take action on the plan that you already know. So I know that this is oversimplifying it, but I think it's really key to oversimplify what confidence is when you're running and growing your business. So 1, foreseeing the challenges and opportunities. 2, knowing what you're going to do, what actions you're going to take with those challenges or opportunities. And 3, knowing the timing. People always miss the timing. I mean, I consult with Fortune 500 companies. They always miss the timing piece. So they could have a great strategy, but when are you going to implement it? Now, that being said, there's 3 primary areas in business. There's finances, financial challenges, what to do with the financial challenges, when the timing of taking action on financial challenges is. 2 is operations, streamlining operations, optimizing IT infrastructure. And 3 is business development. And that has to do with a lot. We'll get into that in just a minute. But here's why I mentioned that, because you can be confident in each of those 3 areas. So for example, with finances and challenges, do you know you're going to have a cash flow problem in a month or 3 months or 6 months? I mean, having cash flow challenges is one thing, but identifying exactly which week or which month you're going to have the cash flow challenge is something super powerful, right? If you knew today, what is it, July 12th, if you knew on November 16th that you're going to have a cash flow problem and that you have a big $5,000 bill that's going to be due and you're not going to have the money till 6 days later, would that be really helpful? I think so, right? And then what to do about it? Now, what to do, there's lots of, I have thousands of things you can do with financial challenges. But the fact is, what changes are you going to make? What decisions are you going to make in your business where that does not become a problem? And when do you implement it? Now, if it's something in November and you're 5 days off on your cash, you don't have to deal with it now in July. You can deal with it in October or even November. So knowing what and when and what the challenge is, what you're going to do about the challenge, and when it's going to make a difference, when you need to take action on it. Operationally, and I know I'm talking in really vague, terms, but I'm just trying to get the idea across. Operations, Here's an example. Whatever your revenue is, let's say you want to double it. Are the people that are in place in your business right now today, will they be able to suffice for doubling your revenue? Typically, the answer is no. So if you have goals of making twice as much money, let's say your business makes $200,000 and you want to make $400,000 in a year by next year. Well, are the 5 people you have in place, will they be able to be enough to make it to $400,000? And like I said, the answer is typically no. So then the next question is, so now you've identified the challenge. So the challenge is the 4 or the 5 people you have are not going to be enough. What you're going to do about it is to hire somebody. So that one's a pretty easy. But the third one is when. When do you hire? And that really depends on where between $200,000 and $400,000 in revenue do you need to hire, and how long is it going to take you to hire them? So if you need to hire somebody at $300,000 of revenue and it takes 30 days to hire somebody, now you should probably start at maybe 250,000 of revenue. So these are little things that are super powerful and easy to miss, and really easy to understand, and really easy to implement. So those are operational, that could be one of many challenges, right? And then there's business development. Now, when I say business development, I mean, are your price points right? How do you increase revenue with your existing clients? How do you increase revenue with newer clients? Are your sizes correct? Is your packaging, is what you're offering, your product and service, is it packaged right? Do you need more packages, less packages, different options? That's where business development comes into play. And that is something that you can easily identify also. I don't have a lot of time left, but what I really wanted to mention, for anybody who's really understands that 3 things, if you want to make decisions with ease, is helpful for the business. And do you agree or understand how having confidence on the back end is helpful for a business owner? And being able to foresee challenges and opportunities confidently, strategically, and with ease, and in a matter of minutes, and you think that's helpful as a business owner, then you understand what the whole process of confidence means. Now, here's the thing, and I should have said this a long time ago, but I get super excited about this because there's thousands of examples to give you. Now, I have a 2-day in-person retreat. I only do it once a month, and it is in my home, and they are kick butt, roll up your sleeves, get your stuff done, know exactly what to do, exactly what decisions to make, exactly what actions need to be taken, exactly how to get you to wherever your point B is. And I talk about finances, operations, and business development, where at any point of time in your business, whether you're a startup, whether you've been in business 2 years, 5 years, 20 years, 30 years, you will know exactly what to do next. Now, I think that's pretty valuable, and I wish I had it when I had started out a gazillion years ago, and we won't go into that again. But 10 hours a day for 2 days, and it's at my house. All meals are included. I think I have the link. If not, I can get it. But it will. I don't know which of my houses it's going to be at, because I usually try to do this at one of my vacation homes, either on a lake in Texas or in Northern California in the mountains. But I love these, and this is not on my website. I do not advertise it. The only way people can be invited is by hearing me talk and knowing who I am and knowing how I change people's lives. And I normally, if I'm on another person's stage, it's only $3,000. But if it's on my stage, which this is, it's only $1,000 to show up at my house for 2 days. And if you click the link that I just put there, it probably not on that page, but there are a ton of bonuses. If you want, there's a VIP day where you have a professional makeup to do professional photos. You get an interview. I have a TV show and a podcast. I do both of those with you guys on the 3rd day. And I can't even remember all the other cool stuff, because I just love doing stuff because it's fun, right? Training is great and I love it, but how much other stuff can be amazing, and stuff that you really excel you to your next level, right? Let me tell you, and I know whoever's heard me say this, I apologize because I say it a lot, but 35 years, let me tell you, I have a lot to share. but the most important thing that I do is being able to share easy to implement and easy to understand ways that really, really, really impact your business and your life. Because at the end of the day, I don't do what I do because I'm good at it. I do what I do because I don't want people to work 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week consistently. I don't want people to struggle. I want people to be empowered by having a successful business where they can go, yeah, that's my business. Yes, I'm making the amount of money that I want, and I can enjoy the rest of my life, my time with my family, my time with your religion or your spiritualness, your time with your spouse, and having emotional health and mental wealth too, but mindset, being safe in those places. So if you could do me a favor, and if you could put a 1 in the chat just to let me know that the link is working, I want to make sure you have access to that if that's something that you want to do. The 2 days, like I said, is like packed full of let's get your shit done. Let's get you to that next level. Here's stuff that most people don't know, that I get paid a lot of really good money to teach these to Fortune 500 companies, and even they don't know because well, we won't get into that. But anyway, there's stuff that I know that I'm telling you are super impactful to your business and can really reduce the stress, eliminate the overtime, streamline your processes, really build you up to, I don't want your business to take away from your life. I want it to complement your life. I want it to be there as a resource and a tool, but not take away from all the other priorities that you have in life, especially your mindset and your health, your mental health, your emotional wealth, and your spiritual health. So join me if you can. I don't know the next time I have these because they're pretty sporadic, but if you can, great. And if not, I have a explosive profits planner that really sets you up for preparing your mindset into what that next place that you want to be. So I'm running out of time, but I really, really, really appreciate everybody being here and hearing what I have to say and knowing where I'm coming from, because this is one of the many ways that I really love on people and want to support people and help people grow and guide them, because man, it's lonely out there and it's tough out there being a business owner, and you are not alone, because we have all had this journey together and we all have tools and resource and wisdom to give to people who can really benefit from it. And that's the place that I come from. So thank you very much. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the afternoon, because we have some amazing speakers. So thank you.
Thank you for joining us for another amazing session of the Explosive Profits Summit, where our mission is to empower small business owners to move from fear to confidence when growing and building their business. For recordings of all sessions, plus an amazing VIP gift bundle full of courses and resources from our knowledgeable speakers, upgrade to VIP now. If you have any questions or problems during the summit, email our support team at support@explosiveprofitsummitwithandie.com. Stay tuned. We have another fantastic speaker coming right up.